Hello. Okay. Um, a week has gone, well, more than a week has gone by. I just want to first and foremost say thank you to everyone for your kind words and your thoughts and your wishes and all that in regards to New Dog passing away. It's still a real big shock here, both in my house and just for this YouTube channel. I just feel like a piece of this channel died with my dog passing away. And a lot of you guys reached out, and I can't believe the amount of people that took the time to watch that video, leave your thoughts, leave your concerns over your dog or cat. All the stories of people talking about a pet that they had pass away, or fear of a pet they have right now that's going to pass away in the near future, and all that. And it was very touching. And thank you, because I was in a very, very bad way from this. And it really just got me thinking about things, just reflecting on things in the past week. And I like I don't really know how to phrase this, because I don't want to make it sound like too pompous or arrogant or something, but I honestly feel that this hit me as hard as it did, which obviously, if you saw that video, I was an emotional wreck, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. And I felt truly that, thinking about it the past almost 10 days now, that I was at that state because of just what little misfortune I've had in my life. And again, I don't want to phrase it as to like, my God, my life is so good, guys. Take a look at it. Like I'm trying not to make it sound like that, but just upon reflection, just like man, this is like the first really thing that just punched me in the gut in life, that I was just like, God damn, that's not fair. I can't believe this happened. I wasn't ready for it to happen, because people say to me, well, Archfiend, both your parents died by the age of 72. Wasn't that pretty shocking? It really wasn't in comparison. Like, this hit me more than both of my parents dying at the age of 72, which personally shook me from a mortality standpoint, because I'm like, I don't want to go by the age of 72. Both my parents went by the age of 72. That's scary. But the thing about it is it wasn't shocking, because the writing was on the wall for both of them. My mother had a number of ailments, and my father had stage 3 colon cancer that was in a pretty bad state of being once it was diagnosed and treated. That both had the writing on the wall. So it's just like, okay, yeah, they're probably not going to live much longer. Like, whereas my dog, like, we literally just took him to the vet about 2 to 3 weeks before this tumor was discovered that ruptured, and he bled internally to death. Or it's just like, wow, like, just, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to see him go, and it really shocked me. Whereas my parents, I was just like, well, it's in my mind that they're dying, and they're going to die in the relative near future, and then that's what happened. So, and once my father went, my mother going another 2 years down the road, it wasn't that much of a shocker at all. Much of an earth-shattering shocker at all. So, I mean, that's like the two biggest instances of death that I can relate to this incident. But man, my dog dying just, and like I said to my wife, I'm never, and I said to you guys, like, I'm never going to have a dog that is going to be as close to me as this dog was. Like I said, this dog lived with me before my wife, then girlfriend at the time, moved in with me. So I've been living with this dog longer than I've been living with my wife, which is the closest personal relationship in my life right now. And well, is now my closest personal relationship, aside from my dog. I guess you can't really say personal with a dog, because it's not a person. But anyway, whatever. You get what I'm saying. So yeah, it really shook the shit out of me. It shocked me, because like I said in that video, that last video I made, I'm one that puts a standard of, if something bad happens, you got to move on from it. You got to try as hard as you can to let it just roll off your back, because what's the sense of being sorrowful on something that you can't change? You could take from that experience any negativity and make the next time that experience either happens or prevent it from happening, and get the knowledge from that and move on. Like, I've always been about that life pretty much my entire life. I don't know why. That's just something that just instilled in myself from a very early age. Someone, says something dumb about me in school when I was a kid. Like, yeah, I don't care. You're going to be but a blip in my radar ultimately in life. Like, I always had that mindset. Like, not that I was ever overly bullied or anything like that, but I never let shit get to me, anything like that. But this, it kind of just, it shocked me how bad this just utterly grabbed me by the roots and shook the shit out of me. And I just wanted to just kind of talk about it, air it out here. It's not to the point that like I'm sobbing every night or anything like that. It's the, time is healing all as it always does. But it's just still so many things. It's just so many things. You just realize there's like the second dog bed that's never going to be used. And, when I dust mop the floors, you would see my new dog's white hair versus the other dog's black hair, like, because he shed a lot more than the black dog did. And all these little differences, all just like things like, you think you see them out of the corner of your eye, and just little things like that. Like, it's I don't want to use the word bizarre or just unique, whatever. I don't know. It's just something like I'm always seeing something that reminds me of them. And you realize how much in your physical life revolves around just this little dog, that they're not there anymore. And you're just like, wow, it's because this isn't happening. I'm like, oh, there's that corner I always see him in. He's not there anymore. Like, there's just so many things just walking around the house. It just sparks nostalgia, for lack of a better word. But yeah, it is. It's more leaning more towards weird now, because you just like, oh my God, every time I walk into a room, there's something that reminds me of this dog. But it's now to the phase of just remembrance more than just sadness, because right away it was just sad as all hell. And another thing I want to talk about here is we literally had a vacation planned a day after my dog passed away, and we had a house sitter come to take care of the dogs and stuff like that. And so he's like, oh my gosh, we gotta let the house sitter know that Andy just passed away, and that our other dog is probably going to be an emotional wreck, because she was the type of dog that when we first got her, she was from a puppy mill. So she was basically just used to make puppies for years of her life. Until we took her in, and she had such separation anxiety when we would take Andy to the vet, new dog, and by the way, Andy's was his real name. Whenever we would take new dog Andy to the vet and left her home alone, like, she would like disturb things in the house and just get like frantic and stuff like that. So we were like, oh my gosh, we got this vacation planned, and my wife and I personally wanted to cancel it because we were just distraught as all hell. But our kids, who are ages 7, 3, and 2, they don't fully understand why something like this, in this vacation that they're looking forward to, is going to be canceled for something that in their life was just like, it's just a dog that's dying. We're going to be getting another dog, right, Mom and Dad? So we had to go through with this vacation in a miserable state of being. And you know what? It ended up being one of the greatest things, because it took our minds off of everything. We were so focused on our kids having a good time, going to an amusement park, going to a buffet and eating 10 pounds worth of food. And my gosh, that's a whole different story. But it was terrible, because we were like, oh my gosh, what is our other dog going to do? With getting her best friend dying, her playmate. And luckily she took to it really well, because like I said in that previous video, like, she knew new dog was dying like days before it happened, because she had a completely different temperament about herself. And so we were like she's gonna have ultimate sadness. And for those of you who don't fully understand animal separation anxiety, there are many times where two dogs live together and one of them dies, and the other becomes such an emotional wreck that they too have to be euthanized, because there's no correcting them. There's no amount of training in certain circumstances that you can give them. They become such a disheveled wreck that you then have to terminate the other dog's life because they're just going to live in a suffering misery, and that's no life to live. And we're like, oh my God, we might have to kill this dog too. It's just like we're coming to grasps with that potentially, but luckily she's moving on really well. She does have an air of sadness about her to this day because she knows things are so different. When she goes out in the backyard, her friend isn't there to run around with her anymore and stuff like that. So, she gets a bit of sadness from that we notice, but she's ultimately moving on to the point that, we're not going to have to take any sort of drastic euthanization steps or anything like that. But it was something where it's just like, oh my gosh, we're probably going to lose both our dogs. And we were coming to terms with that the immediate day or two after we had Andy put down. So yeah, it was just such a mess of emotions and circumstance in this house last week. But like I said, we had that vacation. We went to, those of you, we did a couple days out in Langhorne. We did Dutch Wonderland. Those of you who've ever been there, it's actually a really nice theme park, a good family park. Good for taking younger kids too, the 10 and under crowd. So it was such a perfect distraction that was an already booked plan in our life. Anyway, I just want to come out here. I just tell you all that I read every single one of your messages. I was ready for just people to be trolling me for crying, because I know there's a number of people that hate subscribe this channel because I picked on AVGN or iJustine or something like that. And there's literally just there was one comment out of everyone. People didn't even take time to come out and hate troll, because I guess they just genuinely felt bad, or my hate trollers, the hate subscribers just don't even care to watch my content anymore, which I you'd have to go back way many years, and I can't imagine even hate trolling to be that devoted to still have a stick up their ass over AVGN or iJustine or someone like that. Anyway, but yeah, just thank you for all the words that you guys typed out. I just that was just the one online distraction I did. If I was looking at my phone on vacation or just before bed, I just would read a number of your guys' messages, and I just want you to know I read every single one of them. I always try and leave a heart to let you know. That's just a symbol of saying I read your message. Even if I didn't reply, I try to give every message a heart. Even the negative people. Someone will say why'd you give that message a heart? It would be a comment on another video. It's a hate message. I'm just I just want to know I read it. I might not take my time out of my day to type out a response to the utter mental retardation someone spews out, but I just want them to know that I read it. Okay, so if you got a heart next to your message, I read it. I'm pretty sure I got to everyone's comments in that video, because that was something that you guys were leaving your heartfelt responses as well. The least I could do is take a second or two or a minute or 3 or 4 or 5 to read that, and I did hopefully get to everyone. So as for the channel itself here, like I said earlier, it does feel like a piece of this channel died. Don't bother asking for Super Bowl predictions or anything like that. And I know a number of people are going to come around during Super Bowl time that aren't fully up to speed, or they're just much more casual viewers of this channel. They're going to say something oh, let's do the Super Bowl prediction. Come on, Super Bowl's happening. So, that just that died with new dog Andy last week. So that is his tradition that's going to live on. He kicked that that prediction ass out of the ballpark, 6 out of 7. And like I said, he died predicting the Eagles were going to win another Super Bowl. He can't get much better than that. I mean, other than them getting a three-peat and him predicting that, other than that, I mean, come on. But let's be real. That ain't happening. Or is it? Anyway, well, the three-peat happened and him predicting, obviously. It's hard to do when he's dead. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys. I still do have an itch to make videos here. I still, I'm not going to be some sort of I don't know, person that found Jesus or something now and start espousing something like that. Not to mock anyone that found Jesus, but yeah, I have a let's all laugh at fanboy comments that I still want to do. I'm just very lazy with content here, people, but that's been my MO for the longest time on this channel, hasn't it? Anyway, guys, thank you. I just want to reach out to you guys, let you know I'm still here. I'm not that much of a disheveled wreck that I'm never going to want to make content here again or anything like that. And above all else, I'm amazed with the outpouring of just support and understanding that I got in the last video. Just hundreds of comments, thousands of views, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe people even cared in that much of an amount of numbers. And it just goes to show that, you know, people just are still concerned about this channel here and the content that it makes. And that's ultimately, you know, what makes me want to keep continuing on. That I've been here since 2006. I'm coming up on 20 years. And that there's still thousands of you that are willing to click that little link, image, whatever, on your subscription page and watch to hear what I have to say after almost 20 years. Like, there's many people in the entertainment industry that go from the top of the game to just completely irrelevant in the span of 20 years. Like, I mean, it happens all the time in music and acting and any number of things. You go like, oh my gosh, look at this actor doing all these C-list movies just to make a paycheck. He was a leading star in Hollywood X number of years ago. But, I mean, not to say like I was like a big time actor here type making six figures and stuff like that. Like, I'm just slightly drawing a point here. Anyway, I've meandered on long enough, which, as you know, those of you that watch this channel more than one video know that's pretty much what I do here. I don't get to the point quick. I talk on. I give so much detail. I talk to people like they haven't heard anything about the issue or circumstance before, and people are like, I just want to hear your opinion about it. Don't tell me about it. I already know all about it. I just want to hear your opinion about it. I know. But why change things after almost 20 years? Anyways, thank you guys. The show goes on. Life goes on for me. And like I said, you just have to dwell on anything beautiful and the good experiences when you have tragedy. Try to find silver linings in dark clouds. That's the last advice I can give you. Anyways, I'll be back with a video about, I don't know, Anissa's husband. He's been in the news a lot, right? And H3, Ethan Klein, and Sue Denims, and Frogan, and Bong Girl, who I'd never heard of until this lawsuit came up. Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about there as well. Anyway, for now, that is all.